Bike loan number 2. If you hadn't seen, a few months ago I had received a Honda Rebel 500, but I decided to up my game with a bike that is twice the cc's. This is a Triumph Bonneville Bobber 1200. Absolutely spanking brand new. This is going to be a 2-week loan and there's a lot of media planned for it. And the objective of this video is to show you the behind the scenes, everything that's involved in producing this media. I am so excited for this. I think it's going to be a really interesting experience. As someone who has ridden sports bikes or naked bikes pretty much since the start of my motorcycle journey, so moving on to something like this is going to be a big change, but I know it's going to be good. This is actually our first shooting location, so William and I are gonna get to work. So we're in East London now, and this is day number 2. We're gonna get another set of pictures. I'm wearing the exact same outfit as I was yesterday. There's actually 2 other planned outfits I have. One of them is with a pair of P&Co trousers, which we actually bought today. The final outfit is with a bike shed jacket that I received when I became an ambassador, but it's been tailored to be cropped because it's a men's jacket, so it's quite boxy on me and I wanted more of a cropped fit, so I'm gonna be receiving that on Thursday anyway, so let's get to work. Currently using a bush as a tripod, but yeah, I've put the helmet on with the hair sticking out. I'm a big fan of this. We're in location number 2, which I'm going to show you in a sec. Will's just finishing off some pictures and I get to show you where we are. We had to move on to the second location because where we were initially there was a traffic warden that was wanting to find us. A bit difficult me recording the behind the scenes because I don't have a tripod here with me, and also we're just focusing on getting the work done. So I know the whole purpose of this video is to show the behind the scenes, but I'm just not used to it. I've never done it before. Also, shout out to Maria who painted William's helmet. This used to be black, I think, and it's been color matched to his bike. It's so beautifully done, and honestly it also suits this bike really nicely because if we look closely, you can see the bike has those touches of silver as well as this like brownish, yellowish brown, like gold. How did I go from yellowish brown to gold? It is like a golden color, which is the reason why most of my outfits are going to be like black, silver, tones of brown. I think we're going to pack up and go home. So this is the end of shoot number 2. I didn't think I was going to film this video, and I have seriously been debating whether I even continue this vlog. You see, something happened to the Bobber, and at the time it felt like a colossal mistake. It kind of ruined or kind of heavily affected the way how this vlog occurred and the media that was produced for the bobber. So what the hell happened? So day 1 and day 2 alone, everything went really well. We did 2 photo shoots, came out with fantastic results. Day 3 wasn't necessarily a bobber specific day. We went down to Gasoline Alley Speed Shop to ride the CB750. I was really happy that day. I rode the bobber down and I was feeling really confident. I was like, yeah, let's finish this day on a really high note. I guess not. We get back home, we park the bikes up, we cover the bikes, and we're about to go indoors until I noticed that the bike was slightly exposed, so the cover wasn't placed properly. Just turned around, I went to adjust it until I noticed a massive hole in the cover. And that hole wasn't there before. I instantly knew what it was. When you ride a 1200cc motorbike that has its exhaust pipes out in the open, and you place a cover shortly after you've ridden it for an hour plus, you can kind of expect the cover to melt onto the exhaust pipes. And that's exactly what happened. The right hand side was disgustingly bad. The left wasn't so much, it was a bit more patchy. It's safe to say that I was an absolute wreck for the rest of the day, for the rest of the evening. I was panicking, I was stressing out. I only had the bike for 3 days, and now it had quite prominent damage on it. I started thinking, Triumph are never gonna wanna work with me. I've ruined it. There's no way we're gonna get more media on this. Like, what the hell have I done? I emailed Triumph, showed them the damage. I was completely honest with them. And to make matters worse, this was a Wednesday. By Friday evening, I still hadn't heard from them. So that made me spiral even more, thinking, well, what the hell's gonna happen here? Then answering me. So I ended up sending them a follow-up email and they responded on Monday. All I can say is that the relief I felt with the email they sent me made me realize that it wasn't actually that much of a colossal mistake. They were actually quite chill about it. They said, look, you're not the first person to do this. You're definitely not going to be the last. At least you tried to cover the bike. They then sent me a follow-up because in my previous email, I had stated that obviously this was an honest mistake. My personal bike has the exhaust pipes covered by the fairing, so I didn't even think about that happening. And I then said, you know, I'd hate for this to ruin our relationship, because Triumph are a brand I've been wanting to work with for quite some time, especially since I've started to develop a bigger interest in exploring more classic bikes. In their follow-up, they said, look, don't worry, this is not going to ruin our relationship. In fact, we have a press ride day in Wales next month. Do you want to come? And I was like, I just told you I ruined your bike aesthetically. And you're like, oh, that's not a problem. Do you want to come to Wales with us? So yeah, that was a bit of a curveball, but in a good sense. Like I said, I was debating whether or not I was going to tell you what happened. The way I viewed the situation after this happened was, I've got 3 options. I either delete all the footage and not do the vlog. Number 2 would be to continue this vlog and just not mention what happened. But it would honestly feel quite disjointed because it did affect the way how I produced media and what I produced, as well as the behind the scenes. And number 3 was to do what I'm doing right now. At the end of the day, I don't really have anything to hide. You know, it happened. It was an honest mistake and it was part of the journey. And, you know, no one died. I didn't crash into a tree. So everything is fine. It was just aesthetic damage. That's it. And we still managed to get some fantastic media on it. So what you're going to see from this point onwards is the media that we produced with the damage. So moving on to day 9, where we went onto an open field and got some pretty cool shots. And I did a bit of off-roading. Yeah, it doesn't look as bad now. Right, so this is one of the most exciting days for the bobber because we're going to get rollers on the back of Richard's bike. We're just waiting for Richard to come. We have no idea where he is. He was meant to be here for 8:30. The sky is clear. It was meant to rain. I think it's meant to rain tonight, but we got a clear sky and sun, which is going to be brilliant, which is exactly what we needed. Where the weather has been a bit crap the past few days. We're going to try and get a bit of behind the scenes footage of the media being taken. It's going to be a bit funny or quite hilarious because Richard is on his GROM. So William's going to have to sit on the back of the GROM, and yeah, he's done it before. It's quite impressive. So I'm sure he's going to do it again this time. I'm wearing my Pandomoto bodysuit and Motogirl Isla jeans. I've been wearing these in every single shoot I've done. We're going to head into Bike Shed afterwards because I need to have a chat with Dutch, who is the founder. And then I will be heading home, and that'll be the last bit of media that we're going to get on the Bobber, which is quite sad. But anyways, in terms of outfits, there's been a slight change of plans because I'm no longer going to wear the P&Co trousers, which I'm quite upset about. Ever since the drama with the exhaust pipes and me thinking I wasn't going to get any more media, I just ended up deciding that I wasn't going to wear them because I actually bought a size too big. Well, they fit fine, but they're slightly loose. I know the size 8 fits me better because I tried them in other colors and it was like, yeah, that fits me better. I know the size 8 is the perfect size, but they're out of stock and they were not going to bring them back until September. So yeah, I'm just going to actually return them and wait until they have a size 8 so I can get those. And then next time I have a bike that would suit that style of trousers, I will wear them. I'm not taking the camera with me when we're going to the rollers just because there's limited space. William has to carry everything in his backpack, so I don't want to add even more weight. Obviously I can't carry anything because they're taking videos of me. It would be a bit weird if I had a backpack on. So this has been a rather eventful experience, but a good one nonetheless. Riding the Bobber was a fantastic opportunity for me as someone who is more used to riding modern sports bikes, but now wants to explore a wider range of motorbikes, and this was the perfect way of doing it. It was so funny, you know, some of the days where I'd ride the Bobber for quite some time and then hop on my bike and I'm like, this feels really different, but obviously it's because it's completely different. The bike moves differently, the riding position's not the same. I mean, even the gear I use completely different. That was actually quite interesting as someone who owns quite a lot of gear to see how I pretty much had nothing in my wardrobe that would properly suit that style of bike. Even though I had a great experience with the motorbike, I didn't feel like I got the most out of it, in the sense that there were a lot of features on the motorbike I didn't even try out, I didn't even experiment. This whole situation with the exhaust pipes put me off a little bit. So when I got back on the bike 5 days after the incident occurred, it was kind of just, right, we have media to produce, and you know, I didn't really have long periods of time to take the bike out and properly try it. And not to mention that bike had a rather questionable fuel economy. That thing drinks fuel as if it's free and I didn't have to pay for it. We also caught quite crap weather in the past few days, so the fact that we even managed to get those rollers when it was sunny or slash cloudy was quite impressive, because it started raining in the afternoon, so we got quite lucky. And I can say I was a big fan of the Bobber. Obviously completely different from what I'm used to. I did record a review to be posted on Instagram and on TikTok of my experience and talking a little bit about the motorbike. But obviously I don't have the knowledge to give you a detailed review of the bike. The only thing I know is how much horsepower it has and torque. That's pretty much it. But yeah, it was a great bike to ride. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was nice to be in a riding position where my back wasn't hurting, even though my CVR isn't very aggressive, it still hurts my back. On the Bobber, it's just so chill and so upright and relaxed, except for the seat that was a little bit hard after riding for like an hour plus. But still, loved the bike. It was so much fun. That thing has some power to it. So one of the biggest differences I noticed was the difference in torque, you know, comparison to mine. I think it's got almost double the amount of torque. And not to mention my bike is still restricted, so it's not at its full performance level. So yeah, that was that was something I wish I could have explored a bit more, but I was riding mostly in London, so I can't really open it up and test out just how quick it can go from 0 to 60. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this chaotic vlog. As I said, it didn't really go as I wanted it to. Unfortunately, the bike shed photo shoot didn't really go to plan. I didn't have the bike shed jacket with me, and it was on a weekend that we went, so it was quite busy. We didn't really get to properly bring the bike inside, but nonetheless we got some media. And that's not to say that in the future I won't be able to do it, because I am a bike shed ambassador, so I'm sure I will get an opportunity to stick another bike inside bike shed. I really appreciate any of you who are still watching to this point. It really means a lot to me to see this channel growing and you guys enjoying the long format videos. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a comment, let me know what you thought. Drop a like, and obviously if you like the content you're seeing, make sure you subscribe so you never miss another chaotic vlog from me. I just wanted to end this vlog by thanking Triumph for loaning the bike and for being so patient and so understanding of the situation. For William, who got all the media you've seen. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to get such fantastic content. As well as Richard, who helped with the rollers. Obviously, he has been a staple element when it comes to rollers. He's always the one there helping us. All the gear I was wearing will be in the description below. So, thank you for watching, and until next time.